And it was Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and I'm going to make yet another bonded retainer video. I have an entire playlist. I have a retainer menu, all of which I'll give to you for free. If you want to access the playlist, you can just go to my YouTube channel, Straightsmile Solutions. Scroll down on that homepage, which has a green banner, and you'll see one that says retention. There's a lot of content around bonded retainers and retainers in general. If you want a copy of our retainer menu, at this moment I am giving them away for free. You can just email me info@straightsmilesolutions.com or contact me through my website, straightsmilesolutions.com. Ask for a copy of the retainer menu. Okay, so this is a new way to do bonded retainers. Well, not new, because I've done this many times and many of you are already doing this, but how to ask for it. And a lot of you ask, well, what kind of bonded retainer should I make? And a lot of that's going to depend on the reason why you needed a bonded retainer to begin with. So let's just say run of the mill, there's not a tongue thrust, there's not a frenectomy issue. We're doing bonded retainer because patient either requested it or because you want to settle a bite, which are like the two main reasons that I do it. Now, again, if you've read my playlist on retainers, and if you know my theory is that every patient should, that doesn't mean you have to do this, but should get one set of retainers as directed by the dentist. So if you think a bonded retainer is the best option, maybe you needed to settle a bite, or maybe they started with crazy crowding and they've had relapse a couple times and they just aren't great about wearing their removable, and you're okay with that, that's fine. Remember, you place a bonded retainer, you marry the patient indefinitely. So you need to have a plan. You need to have a warranty plan in place for the bonded retainer for breakage, because breakage will happen. And certainly you shouldn't be fixing it for free, especially after 30 days. There should be a cost to it. Certainly you shouldn't be retreating for free when relapse occurs, because when relapse occurs with a bonded retainer, it actually occurs faster than with a removable retainer. And you can't get it back like you can with an Essex. You can't get it straight again. So it's a big problem. So you need to warn the patient of the risk. The patient needs to be checking their bonded retainer on a regular basis. And as soon as they realize something is loose, they need to give you a call. Certainly our policy in our office is 30 days. Any breakage that happens within 30 days is on us. And any relapse that occurs within 30 days is on us. After that, it's on you. If there's no movement and it's just a repair, $50, $100, not a big deal. If there's movement, then we're not going to be able to repair it. So then you could decide if you want to have a new one made that, captures the relapse indefinitely and basically glues the relapse permanently. I don't love that idea. A lot of it's going to depend on the bite. That might not be an option. If they're going to want to retreat, we can maybe retreat with some white label aligners. Maybe we can retreat with an Invisalign 5. Maybe we were smart and we saved a copy of the hopefully you're taking scans of all your patients at the end and saving them, because that's really good due diligence and it's good standard of care. We did that even 25 years ago. We were taking not scans but impressions and saving the models for 7 years. That really actually is standard of care in pretty much every state and country. Not saying you all are doing it, but you need to be doing it, because if you did save that scan and you're storing it in the cloud, which is a great idea, you have to kind of purchase that cloud space. Invisalign might store it for a little while on iTero, but they're not going to store it indefinitely. So you got to think about this. But if you did do that, you can always print out a model or have one printed, and a lot of labs would do that for you, or have an Essex made off the final model before this bonded retainer was put on. And then they can go ahead and try to wear the Essex and it might move their teeth back. So just a little tip. That's a really, really cheap solution, probably $50 to $75 max. And then you can always put that bonded retainer back on if you save it. That would be my suggestion. But anyways, back to fabrication. So my new favorite, definitely not my new favorite, but it's always kind of been my favorite just for a run-of-the-mill case, is the braided wire. But I don't want you doing this chair side. Because if you don't put it on, unless you know how to bend it and put it on perfectly and everything like that, any type of pressure in terms of making it or non-passiveness is going to move teeth. It's a wire. It's going to move teeth, which is why you want a lab to custom make it for you. They're going to flatten it, they're going to bend it, and they're going to put it in a jig, the transfer tray. And then all you got to do is just basically etch, prime, adhesive, slap it on, light cure, peel it off. Really easy. But this is a cool thing that I'm going to give Ollendorf Lab, which is one of my favorite labs. They are based in St. Louis, I think. Of course, I love St. Louis because I went to college there. But they do this, you can ask for it, and they totally know what this is. Basically, they're going to create a trough here. I don't know if you can see the trough that they create. And then you're going to put your own composite. You can even put flowable here. Just fill it up just perfectly, not overfill it, or a nice hybrid composite, smash it down, etch, prime, slap this on, you know, assuming it's all dry and everything, and just light cure through the tray, peel it off, it's on perfectly. So this is as opposed to coming with already composite buttons already on, you're basically making the composite buttons yourself. So we call this the trough, and this is the stainless steel flat braided ribbon. So you can, if you order this from Ollendorf, it comes pretty standard. I've been told that specialty appliances will make this for you, but you have to be very specific. So you might actually want to even reference this video. There are doctors that have it made, but that isn't their default. They will not have it on their website. You have to ask for flat stainless steel braided wire with a transfer tray jig. With troughs, I will add my own composite to make my own composite buttons. And there might be a better way to say this, but you could probably just send this video. Lab fee, I'm being told, is about 70-ish for this and this, okay? Plus a model fee, because they always charge a model fee, and plus shipping. So it's about 100. If you're ordering upper and lower, it's going to be about 200. With the shipping, maybe 210. It's pretty common. And then once the bite settles, you're also going to need to make an A6. So this is a fair amount of retention. So again, flat braided wire, transfer tray with troughs. I will make my own composite pads in your troughs. So that is my suggestion, because the braided wire does have a little give to it. Doesn't mean it's going to relapse, but it allows the teeth to function naturally within their own periodontal ligaments, as opposed to just being like splinted. So obviously, the other opposite would be, let's say there was a fracture or there was a major perio issue, trauma, and you want to splint the teeth. Well, then this isn't what you'd use. You'd use just the bar, the stainless steel bar, you know? Or if you really needed something a little more rigid, you know, because there was an issue with a tongue thrust, that you're trying to hope there was no relapse and no promise there, then I might use the stainless steel bar, okay? But that's a lot more rigid and doesn't have that give. So when something breaks, it's a pretty big deal. But this, I think, will last you longer. Some people have these for 10, 20, 15 years. Some people's, you know, it really depends on how they take care of it, what foods they bite into, how they clean it, how aggressively clean it, if they clean it. So there's a lot of variables. That's why you need to have that warranty program. And that's why they need to know upfront, before they even get it, what their fees are going to be if it breaks with relapse, and what the options are. Because there's nothing worse than doing one of these and having to come back 3, 6, 9 months later. They're saying they didn't know it was broken, or they're saying it was always broken, which we know isn't true, which is why I always want to have that 30-day visit after one of these is placed. And if they miss that visit, they need to understand that, you know, they're going to avoid the warranty if they miss that visit. And if they come in 30 days and everything's cool and nothing has relapsed and nothing is broken, well, then after that, there will be a fee if anything breaks or relapses. So, all right. Thanks so much.